Here in publish subscribe system, what will happen, it will be also called as distributed event based system. Let me write it. You will call it also as distributed event based system. That means it has to do something with the event. So basically what is happening, you will let me tell you that this system, publish subscribe system, is the one which is usually used, I should say the mostly used indirect communication technique. Okay, in most of the cases, for example in financial systems, financial event based systems, these are very popular. So what happens in this publish subscribe system is that whatever events are taking place, there are certain nodes or there are certain processes who need to be aware of these events which are taking place. Let me tell you the example of events. Like in financial market, you can understand there is a stock price which keeps on changing because of certain things, because of certain events, whatever. So now there is a possibility, if we are not using this publish subscribe system, in that case there is not only one stock, there is not only one object. Okay, let me call one stock as one object. Its state is changing. There are multiple such objects whose state is changing. Now there are these other processes who want to keep a track on these events taking place on these particular objects. It may be the case that one process, this one, may be interested in all the objects, but it may not be possible also. Usually a process may be interested in certain set of objects, the events taking place on certain objects only. So it may be interested in a subset of all the processes, all the objects. Now if we would not be having this publish subscribe system, in that case either we would be having a direct communication. In that case you will have to maintain a direct communication between them. Now since all of these want this particular object, then all the connection like this, which will be a tough thing to maintain. Now other option is also, we can, if we want to implement group communication, that is also a possibility if you have a maintained group. So this object, whenever changes occurs, it can send the information to this group and it can further pass to all the members of this group. Okay. So here this publish subscribe system will be a little similar to this kind of thing, group communication. Okay, but in a way different from it. Let me tell you how. With this publish subscribe system, what will happen, it will also be something in between. So let me call it PSS, publish subscribe system. So here these events are taking place, and this is a place where each event will be notified and stored. Okay. So this is your publish subscribe system. Here whatever events are taking place, they will be notified. Okay. And as they will be notified, they will be stored. So this is being stored here. There will be a separate module here which will notify. Okay. So information is coming and it will notify to the subscribers. Okay. So we are talking about subscribers. What does it mean? I told you that these processes may be interested in these objects, maybe all objects, maybe some of the objects. If they are interested in some of the objects, there is a way they can subscribe to either all the objects or they can subscribe to some of the objects. So accordingly, for all those objects for which process P1 has subscribed, events related to them will be notified to these to the particular process. So this is how this particular publish subscribe system is used. Till now, if you have any question, please ask. Do you have one? Okay. So now one thing you can understand, that one example is financial event system. What other example can be? Can you give some other example where this kind of system can be used? One is financial event system. See, wherever you want a real-time feed system, in that case, this particular publish subscribe system will be helpful. Whatever events are taking place, they will be published, stored here, and it will be notified to the subscribed processes. You may also think sometimes we need such kind of real-time information for monitoring applications. Okay, we want to monitor. Okay, it may be you want to monitor a particular network, you want to monitor a whole town, or you want to monitor a field, whatever. So it will be event-based system where the events are to be considered as real-time events and they will be published and the subscriber will be notified. Now if we have to talk some more about this, Telling you that these are the characteristics of your publish subscribe system. First one will be your heterogeneity. In heterogeneity, I have to tell you, let me tell you, this is hetero, Hetero, genity. So what I was telling you is in your system, publish subscribe system, there are multiple objects. There are chances that all these objects are not homogeneous, or may have not been implemented in the same language, may have not been working on the same computer, or communicating to these objects directly would be tough. However, if we have this publish subscribe system, then they have to just report or publish their events. So when they are publishing their events, in that case, what is happening? In that case, actually, these heterogeneous objects can easily communicate to other parties, okay, because it is publish subscribe system. So whatever they want, they can publish, and there will be a proper format for publishing. So all these heterogeneous objects, they are publishing in a same format, so it will be easy to implement this heterogeneity, है ना? Now one thing is asynchronicity. Asynchronicity. What actually here happens? Notifications are sent asynchronously. Notifications are sent asynchronously, है ना? So they are not waiting for any acknowledgement, they are just keeping publishing their information, whatever events taking place. Okay, one thing you can also understand, there is a certain kind of guarantee of delivery, है ना? That whatever they have published, they can be delivered to the particular subscribers. Now, what do you think? How can this be implemented? It is very simple, if you can understand, है ना? There are certain publishers, there is a system in between, we call it publish subscribe system, and there will be certain objects here which will try to publish, right? So in your distributed system that you are designing, there should be a particular method for these objects to publish. What are they publishing? Some events, okay? What are they publishing? Certain events. Also, not only publishing, they can also advertise. they can also advertise for subscription. Okay, if they are advertising, then what will happen? In that case, they will need not use this publish, right? With advertisements, actually publishers have the option to declare the nature of future events. So what will happen? They will tell that this is the nature of the event. It will be okay, basically type of events that may interest the subscribers. So then based on this information, they can subscribe to these particular objects. Okay, so if they have subscribed, after that the information can be published. Okay, so okay, let me write it. After advertise, there can be something called subscribe, unsubscribe. Okay, they are actually subscribers. So they can subscribe, okay, to something. Suppose they have subscribed to T. They also want to subscribe. Okay, for a certain list of objects they have subscribed. Later on, if they want, they can also unsubscribe. So these are publishers. These are subscribers. They need to publish and they will be notified. One operation from this side, it will act as notify. Notify of the event they have subscribed. Suppose it has subscribed to this particular object, then this event E1 will be notified. Okay. Similarly, there can be unsubscribe also. Okay, such operations can be there. And these advertisements which are published, okay, they can also be revoked, that now we are not advertising. There can be a function, let me tell you, unadvertise. Okay. So you can understand that these subscribers are subscribing to multiple publishers. Okay, so there should be a filter actually, so that it should be decided, or it should be maintained, the information should be maintained that this subscriber is able to receive these kind of the events from this particular publishers. Okay. So these kind of expressions can be done by, let me call it as a filter model. Okay. So basically what here we are trying to understand is the scheme using which this kind of filter can be implemented in this publish subscribe system. Okay. So it can be channel based. Channel based means there will be a named channel, okay, on which suppose you are understanding about the TV channels. Similarly, there will be a named channel on which the publisher is publishing this particular information, and the job of this publish subscribe system will be is just to connect this subscriber to this particular channel. Okay, this is the most primitive one, channel based subscription, which is also used in Corba. Okay, other can be topic based. What happens in topic based? You can understand, as it was channel based, so on a channel information was being published. Now it is topic based, so definitely all the events are being notified, all the events are being published. They are with the publish subscribe system. Now, when a notification is being done, it can be expressed as with different information, means one field, okay, different fields of information and attributes, suppose. So one attribute can be your topic. Okay, so whenever it is being notified, all these events will have a topic. So if it is a topic based filter model, in that case, based on these particular topics, who have subscribed to these topic, they will get this event notification. Okay, now let us make this topic based kind of thing a little more generalized. Let me call it as content based. Okay, so how is it different from topic based? Here is one field topic. Here we are not using only one field, we can use any of the field. We can use certain conditions, or let me call it constraints. You can also call this content based as constraint based. Okay, let me. So there will be condition or constraint, and you will okay, this condition, there will be an expression using this condition. Okay, and using such kind of expression, these content based filters can be implemented. So it is not only one field. In case of topic, what was happening? Topic was one of the field. Now you have multiple fields. You can use any of these fields, whatever these fields you want to use, and then you can classify the events, and then you can decide that these events can be notified to the subscriber or not. Means the subscription can be content based. Now there is something also, we call it type based. Okay, so suppose in your system where objects are publishing such information, there what will happen? These objects will have certain information. So these objects will be of certain type. Objects are of certain type. Okay, based on this type, the subscriptions can be made. Okay, so subscription can be made on the basis of this type of events. Okay, there can be this type, or there can be subtypes also. So the subscription here in this type based, it will be based on types or subtypes kind of things. Okay, so types is basically related to the type of object or type of events, you can also say. Such objects are publishing such events only. So that is the thing. So basically all this filter model, what we are trying to understand is, this subscriber want to subscribe to certain objects of interest. Okay, so for deciding such objects of interest, there are these four models. It can be channel based filter, topic based, content based, or type based, no problem. Okay, now if I have to tell you about implementation, if you want to implementation, if you want to implement such publish subscribe system, do you have some idea how this can be done? You have to ensure that every event that is being published, it should be delivered to the subscribers, right? Okay, let me tell you, let us have a centralized system. Centralized system. So in centralized system, what will happen? You will have a central server. You will have a central server. Whatever information these objects will have, it will be published and stored on this central server, and it can be notified to the subscribers. Hannah, do you think there can be some problem here? Can you guess some of the problems?
Sir, if the central server fails, then notifications may not reach the
Okay.
subscribers.
Yes. One important thing with the centralized systems are that the central servers are of very high risk. If something happens, if the central server crashes or fails, in that case, whole your publish subscribe system will fail. Okay. It is not only that the system crashes, sometimes it may be an issue of bottleneck also. Do you understand bottleneck? That more number of events are being received here, and more number of events are being transmitted from here, and all these are coming to one single server. So there will be a capacity of this central server, and because of that, if the events starts coming more than that capacity, in that case it will be difficult for the central server to accommodate them, right? In that case, what will happen? Those situation you can consider as bottleneck. Okay. Apart from bottleneck situation, one more thing is scalability. Hannah, whatever those all sort of things that you have read for the limitations of centralized server, it can be seen here, Hannah. So all those problems will be there with this centralized server. So one way is to have distributed system, Hannah. So you may have a distributed system. So there will be certain publishers, publisher P1, publisher P2, publisher P3, subscriber S1, subscriber S2, subscriber S3. This is your distributed system. Distributed system means there you will have certain different nodes which will be maybe connected together, है ना? And together they are giving you this service of publishing the events, है ना? And also notifying to the subscribers. So in this way it can be implemented, these what should I call it, publish subscribe system. Okay, if you have to see overall architecture of this thing, so what is happening? You understand that there will be a network, है ना? With this network you will have your network protocols. Okay, so suppose these network protocols are there, it may be your TCP/IP protocols. Along with TCP/IP, if you have this IP multicast, it may be needed, है ना? Maybe other, if at all, other protocols if you have. Over this network, you will try to implement your own, let me call it publish subscribe, है ना? Publish subscribe system. Okay, so basically this is what I am showing is architecture of publish subscribe system. So here on this defined network you will have to implement your own overlay network. We have already seen that there is something called overlay network, है ना? On the network you want to implement your own network which is more secure. So you are defining your own overlay network, and there will be related information, or I should say the modules. It may be your broker network, or it may be your group multicast, it may be other things also. Over this overlay network, what will be there? You will have to do your you will have to route your events. Okay, so for event routing, what can be done? You can flood it. There you can use flooding technique, you can use filtering technique. Okay, it can be informed Gaussian. Such kind of things. And before sending, before routing the event, what you need to do? You need to match. So first of all, you have to match the events with the conditions, or with the type, or with the topic, or with the channel, and then you need to use some technique to route it. It may be flooding or filtering or anything. Then you can send it on the overlay network, which will ultimately use this your TCP/IP network on which it can be sent. So this is very easy to understand. Anything else that you want to understand? Is it okay? So with this we have learned something about this particular publish subscribe system. If you have any question, you can ask.